Alliance for Continued Learning, or ACL, is planning on offering a wide range of classes for the fall that you can take advantage of. Larry Westerfield is here to tell us what kind of classes and activities you can take part in. Larry, thanks so much for being here on Daytime.
Thank you. My pleasure being here.
Yeah, so let's just start out ACL, or Alliance for Continued Learning.
Right.
What is that?
Yeah. That's an organization, volunteer nonprofit organization that's here in Johnson City. They also have one in Kingsport. We're associated with East Tennessee State's Office of Professional Development and Continuing Studies. And our goal is to provide opportunities for adults, mostly retired people, but anybody can come, to have interesting discussions, lectures, special events. In a really inviting and welcoming environment without any stress. We have no grades, we have no tests, we have no stress.
School, right? About the stress of it.
Yeah, it's nice. You don't have to have a degree, a GED, or a diploma, or graduate of university. You just have to have a desire to want to learn and to keep on learning. We continue learning for life is our motto in the ACL.
That's wonderful, and it's been around since really the early 90s. And what's so unique about this is that it's run by all the members, right?
It is. It's member-driven and member-run, and everybody's volunteer. We have a voluntary board of directors, and then on that board of directors is a program chairman. And he's the most important, he or she is the most important person, because they make up the program and select the lecturers. And most of our lecturers, they're given twice each week for 6 weeks. It starts actually tomorrow, and the program chairman selects the programs on the basis of the input from the membership. So we try to be current and up to date in what members want to learn about.
And a variety of different.
And a variety.
Yes,
yeah, right.
Exactly.
We don't just take one subject and beat it to death. We have multiple subjects, so we cover most of the material that people are interested in.
Right. So what are some of the classes or activities that are scheduled for this fall?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad to talk about that. The first one is special, and it's the only one that begins at 9:30. All the others begin at 10. From 10 to 12, but this one's at 9:30, and it's 9:30 because we have a continental breakfast. Now, also, it's special because we'll have a welcoming address by the President Emeritus, Dr. Paul Stanton, and because we all love Dr. Stanton at ETSU. And then after that will be an address by the football coach at ETSU, Carl Torbush. And I know everybody wants to hear him talk about the new program at ETSU. And then we'll have a small performance by Eugene Wolf, who's a local actor and songwriter, musician, and storyteller. So that's our first session. Now, I've divided our programs into some classifications. First, I would call self-improvement, self-improvement programs. And our first will be the fundamentals of investment, saving, and budgeting for retirement. I know we all want to learn more about how to keep our money and maintain our money. We actually have one on classic cooking for Appalachia Food by Sheridan Doherty.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, and so food is important to all of us. We have an interesting one most people may not know much about, including myself, and that's food composting. And Joe Hoffman will be telling us about that process. He owns one of the food composting centers, in one of 3 in the state of Tennessee. And then we'll have secrets of real estate, which will help prepare us for any buying and selling of real estate, and all the secrets that you need to know if you're into real estate in any way. Then we have 3 programs, and I call important organizations in the community, and one of those is, of course, CASA, and that's Court-Appointed Special Associates for Abused and Neglected Children. They advocate for these children who don't have a representation normally. We will have the director of the Ronald McDonald House, who will explain how that works and how it provides opportunities for the families who are, have sick children in the Children's Hospital. And then, of course, one interest to everybody is Alzheimer's Association, and we'll have the director of the Resource Center for Alzheimer's will tell us all, bring us up to date on the latest things on Alzheimer's.
And that's so wonderful, because like you just described, there's a huge variety of different lectures that people come and enjoy and just learn more about. And it's really easy for people to sign up, a very reasonable fee to join as well. And people can find more information. How do they get in contact with you all?
Well, we have a phone number. I could hold this up. ETSU's Office of Professional Development, of course, 423-439-8084, or you can go on your computer, etsu.edu, /Mark Professional Development and click on Community Groups, and you can sign up there. Because we're late and it starts tomorrow, and as far as the registration, you can do your registration on site tomorrow.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Easy enough. And we have that phone number at the bottom of your screen as well. Thank you so much, Larry, for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.